Hey everyone, it's Jenna Melanson from Canadian Beats Media. Today I'm joined by Trevor Mann from the Alberta-based band Scenic Route to Alaska for our newest segment of Zoomies. Welcome, Trevor.
Oh, thank you very much for having me, Jenna.
So first off, care to introduce Scenic Route to Alaska a bit more in depth for our listeners?
For sure. We actually started the band in 2011, so it's been a bit of a journey so far, and it's comprised of myself and my two childhood best friends, Shay Connor, who plays drums, and Murray Wood, who's on the bass.
Okay. So congratulations on your new album, Last Forever.
Thank
Um,
you very much.
it's exciting. So can care oh my care to share the inspiration behind the album and how it differs from your previous work?
Yeah, for sure. So Last Forever is going to be our seventh record that we've put out, which is pretty incredible to us, honestly, looking back at the discography we've already made. And I think how it differs the most is that we've kind of come full circle and decided to do this one totally self produced and with a little bit more autonomy. So we recorded the whole record, all of the bed tracks, which is, for those at home who don't know, bed tracks are just like the band playing instrumentally. We did that all together live off the floor in Calgary at Studio Bell using a bunch of cool vintage gear. I got to play through Neil Young's amp with one of Randy Bachman's guitars, stuff like that. And then we took those bed tracks back home to Murray's basement, which we've dubbed the Jazz Cafe because of this old neon sign we have down there. And there I continued to record all of the vocals for the record myself. And we put little finishing touches on it. And then it was mixed by Marcus Pecan. And then yeah, it's kind of a representation of a bit of more of an organic and rootsy approach, us going back to our original days of just jamming.
So as you mentioned, the album marks your venture into self-production. What motivated this decision and how was it different from working with external producers?
I think the motivation came from actually the education that we've like garnered from working with those external producers before. So it gave us the confidence to know that we could do it and that we've seen how to produce a record from multiple different viewpoints, and we've learned a lot and gained a lot of knowledge from those other experiences, and it just kind of it felt like the right thing to do for ourselves at this point in time. It might have been different if it was only our third record, but because it's our seventh, we thought, there's not really much to lose here, and we really do. We felt like we had the confidence and the wherewithal to put it together ourselves and to build it up so that it still can sonically compete with records that are produced by big producers. And selfishly, I also kind of wanted to start dabbling my hand in producing, and I feel like it'll be kind of nice to put some credits towards it for myself too.
Definitely. So recording live off the floor at Studio Bell had to be exciting, especially because, as you said, you played Randy Bachman's guitar through. Yeah.
Yeah, it was inspirational, and just to I mean, I'm a bit of a, I'm not sure what the right word would be for it, but sometimes when you pick up an instrument, I feel like there really is some life and some experience to be had just from feeling something else like that. As cheesy it sounds, it's kind of like Harry Potter, where the wand chooses the wizard. So I felt there's just moments where it kind of takes this thing that we've been doing. We practice so much before we went to the studio, so it's very repetitious, and you get very honed in and good at it. And then just to add in an extra piece of inspiration, I feel like kind of helped take those songs to a different level or refine that kind of initial spark that we had when we created those songs.
Definitely. So you unveiled two singles before the album, Call It a Coincidence and the title track, Last Forever.
Mhm.
How did you go about choosing which tracks should be singles?
That's always such a difficult process that we found in the past, and we've tried a bunch of different approaches. I think for our last record, Time for Yourself, we released four or five singles before the record came out, and I think in hindsight, it was also in the middle of COVID, so it was a bit of a crapshoot, for
Yeah.
lack of a better term. But this time, I think we wanted to lead with "Call It a Coincidence" because it showcased a much more vulnerable intimate and really thoughtful recording and songwriting. And it was kind of a fun reintroduction for people because it's been 4 years since we put something out.
Mhm.
So we wanted to put something out that hopefully people would actually connect with on a bit more of a emotional level.
Mhm.
And then we decided that after putting out Call It a Coincidence, we would go to the full other end of the spectrum and put out Last Forever, which is kind of, for lack of a better word, we've dubbed it a prairie pop bop. So it's a bit of a toe tapper, and it's a little bit more just an in your face sing along,
Mhm.
laissez faire kind of vibe. So we thought that would just be kind of a fun way to showcase to people that we're going to have, a bit of there's going to be a mixed bag on this record that kind of spans different genres and different messages.
Okay. How do you plan to engage your fans in the wake of the album release? Do you have an album release show or anything else in the works?
Yeah, so we've got, actually, I should start by saying our bass player for the first time in our band's life he's just become a dad, so we can officially call ourselves Dad Rock. But in the wake in the wake of that, our touring schedule is a bit differently tailored than what it normally was. So we're just going to be doing weekend runs so that he can come home and be home on the weekdays too. So for all of April, May, and June, we've got weekend shows planned throughout Alberta, BC, and Ontario. And our hometown show in Edmonton here will be on May 10th at the Starlight Room.
Okay.
Yeah,
So the next 5 questions are just for fun.
bring
If
it
you
on.
if you could perform a concert anywhere in the world, regardless of practicality or logistics, where would it be?
Oh wow. This is gonna be a bit of a cop-out answer, but we've kind of been saying it ever since our inception as a band. Our dream still is to play the main stage of the Edmonton Folk Fest here in town at night. I don't know if you've ever had a chance to be there, but
No.
they hand out all these candles, and there's like 40,000 people on this massive hill, and everybody lights up their candles, and it kind of
Wow.
looks like, from the stage view, it looks like you're just looking off into the stars, and it's one of the first, like, the imagery that really has stuck with me my entire songwriting career, my entire life. Just looking at that and thinking it's so otherworldly, even though I live 3 blocks from the festival site right now. So it feels very close, but also a little bit unobtainable. So we want to keep working towards that.
Well, I hope you get there.
Yeah.
If Scenic Route to Alaska were to create a signature cocktail, what would be in it?
Probably just Pilsner, I'm guessing.
Well, that's easy
But
enough.
yeah, no. I think between the three of us, the things that we all have in common is we all love coffee. We all we all like an easy drinkable beer, and on occasion, actually maybe a little bit of sortilege, which is like a maple syrup flavored
Mhm.
liqueur.
Okay.
I'm currently off of the drinking, so for me right now, I'm stuck to the coffee. But yeah,
Okay.
that's not a great answer.
If your band could create its own festival lineup, including you, as well as 3 other headliners, who would you choose?
Ooh, past and or present or present?
Anything you want.
Oh, that's a good question. I think I would have to reincarnate the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
We all grew up listening to a bunch of the Beatles. The first record that both myself and Murray ever bought was Frampton Comes Alive by Peter Frampton. So maybe we'll throw him on there just for fun. Not that I listen to much Frampton anymore. And then let me think of a current artist who's somebody that we really look up to. Um, oh, I feel like we're in such a wave of incredible music that that's a tough one. I think I'm gonna actually go to a bit of a deeper cut and say our childhood band that we first started playing music. We were called The Juice. We were a 4-piece band, and all we did was play covers and a couple original songs from when we were like 12 till 16. We play casinos, we play weddings, and it's kind of how we all really, as they say, like cut our chops or
Okay.
got into playing music consistently. So I think I got to give The Juice a headlining spot too.
Okay. What's the most unexpected cover song you've ever performed?
Oh, there was one time where we've currently stopped playing weddings because I feel like it puts on a bit of too much pressure for ourselves, and what people don't realize is that even though we put out 7 records, I'd say half of the songs we put out are kind of like sad breakup songs. So we're not necessarily the best wedding band, but we had to cover a song called "My Wish," which was I can't remember the country artist that it was by at the moment. I should know this, but it definitely pushed me out of my comfort zone, and it was for the first dance, and it's just those kind of moments. That was probably the most awkward cover song I've had to do, and also just having the pressure of messing up somebody's first dance. I think
Yeah.
I've kind of blacked it out by now, actually.
Yeah, I could see that would be a little stressful. Um, okay. We all know what April is famous for, showers. What's your favorite thing to do on a rainy day?
Ooh, my partner and I, her family has such a beautiful dog. So my favorite thing to do would be to go up and just honestly lay on a couch, make some popcorn, and cuddle with the dog all day long. That's pretty much, yeah, that ticks almost all the boxes. If I had a wood-burning fireplace, it would be on there too, but unfortunately, I'm still working towards that.
Okay. All right, so that's it for Zoomies. Thanks for joining me and congratulations on the new album.
Oh, thank you so much, Jen. I appreciate it.